Call this meeting to order. If everyone could please stand. I was fortunate enough just a few minutes ago to be able to meet with Cub Scout Pack 6 and Boy Scout Troop 12. They asked some great questions, trying to earn a badge. I think they certainly earned it, but they are going to lead us in the pledge tonight. To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you. Roll call.
Trustee Mattson?
Here.
Trustee Scalise? Here. Trustee Galuza? Here. Trustee Reiser?
Here.
Trustee Christofferson? Here. Trustee Wilson?
Here.
Mayor Baldwin?
Here. Okay. First up, and again, Scouts, you're welcome to stay as long as you'd like. First up, we have a proclamation. As we've had many, many times here in this boardroom, we have so many talented young people in this community and so many dedicated coaches and teachers. We have recognized area youth for academic achievements, sporting achievements. And tonight, we are recognizing Providence Catholic High School varsity dance team. They are the 1A state champions for competitive dance for 2025. And I'm going to just go through this proclamation here quickly. The athletes, and they are most definitely athletes, come on up, champs. Competing on the Providence varsity dance team, and usually I look at these names before I read them, and I didn't, so if I mess it up, I apologize in advance. Are Olivia Cantu, Lindsay Kaz, Emma Arentz, Kendall Burkhart, Ava Englert, Chloe Hall, Natalie Hill, Amelia Koblarczyk, Lily Andrews, Natalia Sobolski, Alexandra Kokinos, Hayden Ferry. Am I okay? Okay, good, thank you. Macy Ferry and Karina Porcelli. And they were led by head coach Stephanie Coglanis and assistant coaches Christina Olson and Alexis Denny. Coach Coglanis is a Frankfort native, but we won't hold that against her. We're happy to have her here. She has been the head coach for 9 years, previously coached the Dancing Celtics to a 1A state championship in 2021. Assistant Coach Olson's been assisting for 4 years, and Assistant Coach Denny, who's been assisting for 2 years, is a Providence alum and was a 4-year dance team member and was also on the 2021 state championship team. The routine this season was danced to Stevie Nicks' Edge of 17. That's good stuff. I like that. A classic song, which I remember when it came out. I happened to be 17 years old. So that was not only relatable to all the girls on the team, but also competition judges who seemed to connect with it as well. The Providence varsity dance team finished in the top 3 at all regular season competitions this season with 2 first-place finishes for their jazz routine performance. They placed second place in the Catholic League Conference and were second place at sectionals. And the team placed first in the preliminary round of the IHSA State Championship in Bloomington and held on to win first place out of 84 teams on the final day of competition, being named the 2025 IHSA 1A State Champions. This is Providence Catholic's 33rd IHSA Championship title. The girls had a goal of reaching the podium and worked extremely hard in the gym and in practice to make that goal a reality. So to all of the coaches, to all of our athletes, and to all the families, because I'm sure you'll be the first ones to admit without supportive family members and loving family members, none of this is possible. On behalf of the village board and the entire community, we want to say congratulations to our state champs. I'm going to make you do a dance too. So excuse me, can I get in there with you? Somebody could come in front. If I get down on a knee, I won't get back up. So somebody- Oh, formation. All right, formation. I don't want to be at the bottom of the, I know you don't. That's true.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Are you guys going to dance your way out of here? Coach, come on up. You want to? And then please feel free to say.
Oh, I've said enough.
Congratulations.
I don't have to use a mic. I have a pretty loud voice. It's a complete honor to coach this team, and I'm extremely grateful for all these 14 beautiful ladies and my 2 amazing assistant coaches and all the parents. So thank you again, and congrats, girls. Okay, one more picture. Thank you.
I see the graduation years on the sleeves, so you've got quite a few kids returning, huh?
Yes.
That's great. So we look forward to having you back here next year to celebrate another championship. No pressure, though. Congratulations, ladies. Thank you very much. Good to see you here. Thank you. Okay. One of the things that the Scouts asked me about today was good citizenship and what it means to be a good citizen. And I talked about giving back to the community. You don't just have to be a mayor or an elected official. You can all give back. One of our very important partners in this community is our new Lenox Library. And we are very, very grateful for all of the work that they do. They would be a partner no matter where they were located, but being right here in the Commons with us gives us many, many opportunities to do great things with you. I say this each year as we recognize National Library Week, that I think a lot of people would be surprised at just the amount of services that the library provides for the community and beyond. It is way, way more than I know many of us remembered as kids with the Dewey Decimal System, and I don't even know if you're still doing that? Okay, well, that's good to hear. All right, but anyway, this is National Library Week, is April 6th through April 12th of 2025, and we are highlighting the valuable role that libraries, librarians, and library workers play in transforming lives and strengthening our communities. The mission of the new Lenox Public Library District is to provide a high-quality public education that strives to inform, enrich, and enlighten. Informally, the staff serve the educational needs of the community. And I know I've had my school through there, and they just really learned an awful lot. Tremendous job by the staff that was there. The theme for this year's National Library Week is Drawn to the Library. It celebrates the diverse ways that people use libraries, from research and study to exploration, entertainment, connection, and growth. The new Lenox Public Library provides information and resources in a variety of formats, from picture books to large print, audio to ebooks, and so much more. They lend items like museum passes, games, sewing machines, cameras. Programming brings communities together for entertainment, education, connection through book clubs, story times, moving nights, crafting classes, and lectures. Library infrastructure advances communities, providing internet and technology access, literacy skills, passports, and support for businesses, job seekers, and entrepreneurs. No matter where you find yourself on a roadmap through life's journey, preparing for a career, launching a new business, or raising a family, the new Lenox Public Library provides an inclusive and supportive community where everyone belongs. They are a resource for all, regardless of any demographic. All are welcome here at the library. In 2024, the new Lenox Public Library had a total number of 122,024 library visits, 266,309 physical and digital items checked out, 105,653 total internet sessions accessed, and 638 different in-person programs and classes, attracting 80,197 attendees. 80,197 attendees through our library last year. So on behalf of myself and the entire board, we are happy to proclaim April 6th through the 12th as National Library Week. Please come on. Thank you.
While you're making your grand walk, do you want to? Okay. I was just saying, he needs like little doors up front here. So on behalf of the library staff and trustees, we truly thank you very much for this recognition of a very special week for libraries across the country. But in real life, it goes beyond a proclamation, right, Tim?
Yes.
We truly feel like we're a valued member of the community with thousands of visits every month. And so more than ever, it's vital that we continue to strengthen and grow our relationships with other government bodies. So libraries are always evolving, and New Lenox is no different from that. We have a laser cutter now, 3 3D printers, so come see that. But we are here, like you said, to serve every community member. And so we appreciate your assistance in bringing awareness to what we offer and what we do. We're more than shushing librarians and books. You know, we won't shush you tonight, that's okay. But we are a welcoming place where learning, creativity, and discovery happens. So we really appreciate your support through the years as we continue to work together.
We are happy to do that. You've got a great board that, supports what you're doing. And as the mayor, I'm certainly very appreciative of that, because whether it's the library, fire protection, park district, we've got so many great entities, schools that all come together to make this a wonderful town. And I have to tell you, in all my years, you really do an amazing, amazing job as the library director. We're very, very glad that you're on board. All right,
Thank you.
congratulations.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
We'll do that next. Hey, Burke, can I?
Laura, could you mind?
Oh, thank you. You sure? He's good. Thanks, sir.
Of course. All right.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Appreciate you.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Thanks.
That's a great way to start a meeting. So next up is our consent agenda, which consists of 9 items. They are the minutes of the regular meeting for February 24th, 2025, minutes of the regular meeting for March 10th, 2024, proclamation for Limb Loss and Limb Difference Awareness Month, April 2025, resolution authorizing participation in the State of Illinois Rock Salt Joint Purchasing Program for 2025-2026, approval of proposal for sports equipment for the Crossroads Sports Complex, H2I Group, approval of a contract computer network for Crossroads Sports Complex Noble Tech, ordinance creating a Class T liquor license fundraising gala for Providence Catholic High, approval of proposal for Village Hall HVAC front-end software, building automation systems, and approval of Odyssey Radio Network sponsorship agreement. Does any member wish any of those items to be pulled and discussed separately? All right, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second. Motion by trustee Mattson, second by trustee Reiser. Any comments or questions? Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Wilson?
Aye, abstain from B.
Trustee Christopherson?
Aye.
Trustee Mattson?
Aye, and I abstain from B, please.
Trustee Galuza?
Aye.
Trustee Scalise?
I abstain from A, please.
Trustee Reiser?
Aye.
Mayor Balderman?
Aye, motion carries. All right, under order of business, first up, we have consideration of an ordinance granting a special use for a massage establishment, 330 West Maple Street, Zen Wellness Spa, first read. Robin?
Yes. If you remember, last year, the village amended the zoning ordinance to require massage establishments to obtain a special use. This would allow us to confirm that they have all of the required licensing through the state. We have 2 existing massage establishments. So we've been working with them to get them into compliance by going through the special use process. So this is 330 West Maple Street. It's in the plaza by Subway. They did supply all of the required documentation. So the Plan Commission recommended approval of the special use, and the ordinance is for your first read consideration tonight.
Is petitioner here tonight on this?
I'm not sure if it's this
Okay, or the next.
one or the
Okay.
next one.
All right, no other issues?
No other issues.
All right, any questions for Robin on first read? No? Okay, then we will bring that back. Next up is consideration of an ordinance granting special use for a massage establishment, 318 Alana Drive, Shine Healing Spa, first read. Robin?
Yes, this is on Alana Drive, just north of the railroad tracks along Route 30. They're in an end unit. Again, they did satisfy all of the licensing requirements, so the Plan Commission held a public hearing earlier this month and recommended approval, and the ordinance is for your consideration for first read tonight as well.
And is petitioner here tonight? Anything you'd like to add or no? No, you're good? All right, any comments or questions from the board? Okay, we'll bring those back for second read. Thank you for being here tonight. You're welcome to attend if you'd like the next meeting, but I don't think it's necessary. I think you're all set, okay? Thank you very much. Good luck. Okay, next up, we have consideration of an ordinance rezoning property 328 East Lincoln Highway, first read. Robin?
Yes, this is the white Victorian house on Route 30. A new owner purchased the building a year or so ago, and as we were going through due diligence with them, found that it had never been rezoned from a residential zoning district. So tonight before you is the first read of an ordinance that would rezone it to the C2 district, which is consistent with a lot of the properties along Route 30. The owner does have also a plat proposed with us to create 2 lots. So there would be a potential second user on the property in the future. We'll bring that plat back with the second read of the rezoning ordinance at the next meeting. But again, the Plan Commission is recommending approval, as is staff.
All right, very good. Any questions for Robin on that? It's really a great old building in town. I love it. Yeah, it's really, looks good. All right, very good. Then we'll bring that back. All right, next up is consideration of ordinance granting special use for a final P.U.D. plat, Spring Creek Phases 2 and 3. First read, Robin?
Yes, if you remember, in January, the board approved the final PUD plat for Phase 1, which is the area of the property along Route 6. Phases 2 and 3 are coming before you right now for the northern part of the property. Phase 1 included 11 commercial lots, 2 and 3 include 15 additional lots, as well as formally creates a lot for the detention pond that's been there for a number of years. There would be a series of trails that would connect ultimately to the forest preserve as the adjacent properties develop. And there would be an amenity area near one of the ponds that would serve kind of as a trailhead when that connection occurs. There would be 2 highway signs that was included in the preliminary PUD plat. The sign itself hasn't changed, and those are the locations. So there's still a number, some minor comments on the plat and the plans, so we would anticipate bringing the ordinance back for second read upon resolution of those comments.
All right, very good. And the petitioner is here tonight. Anything to add? All right, very good. Any comments or questions from the board? Now, this is a big part of what we're trying to do up north, so hopefully you can keep everything moving forward, and look forward to it. All right, if there's nothing else, then we'll bring that back at the appropriate time. Thank you. Thank you for being here. All right, next up is consideration of ordinance granting special use for an outdoor patio and drinking establishment, 222 West Maple Street, True Country Bar and Grill, first read. Robin?
Yes, this request for an outdoor patio is for the old TJ's building on the corner of Route 30 and Oak Drive. The petitioner was able to acquire the vacant lot directly to the east, which does allow for them to provide a little bit more parking. However, in addition to the special use, there are a number of variances to legally establish what's there and allow for the reuse of the building. For those of you who don't know what the building looks like, they are proposing significant improvements to the facade. They're going to whitewash the existing brick and then put the metal panels on to cover the existing sign there. And then this is the proposed patio. Some of the variances that are being requested, because it is a non-conforming building, any changes have to be done in accordance with our code. So the new parking lot will only have just under a 5-foot perimeter buffer yard along the east property line. There is currently no setback along Oak Drive, and then they do propose a rear building addition for some cooler space and things like that. That would also maintain that 0-foot setback, so that is a variance that's required. And then to the front of the building, they're less than the 20 feet to the building, and then the canopy projects further into that. As well as along the new parking lot, in order to maximize the number of parking spaces, they're proposing to maintain the existing 9-foot setback instead of 20 feet along Route 30. The biggest variance, so with regards to the special use, staff is recommending a number of conditions related to the hours of operation. They are proposing to have TVs on the patio when it's open, but no live entertainment, no bands, nothing like that. Outdoor speakers would have to be maintained at a minimal decibel level, similar to what we've required at other patios. Staff and the Plan Commission were recommending that the patio hours terminate at 9 p.m. During the week and 10 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. The petitioner is looking to use that patio as a smoking area as well, so is asking for the board's consideration to have that at later hours. The TVs would be turned off at 9 and 10 as recommended by staff and the Plan Commission, but he would really like to have the patio be operated or be able to be occupied until closing, which would be 1 a.m. and 2 a.m. on the weekends.
Just for smoking after 9 and 10?
That is, I submitted an email, a copy of an email
Yes.
that he provided after receiving our comments, and that is, he is proposing that there be no service out there after those hours, but that it would just be allowed to be used for smoking. So,
And the petitioner's here tonight. So is there anything else before I have him come up that you'd like to add?
not with regards to the patio. I do want
Do you
to talk
want,
about the.
go ahead, you can keep rolling.
Okay,
Go ahead.
so the biggest variance has to do with the number of parking spaces. Under the zoning ordinance, there's 2 different criteria that can apply, and our code says whichever one requires the most parking is what's required. So taking that into consideration, it would be 54 spaces.
Yeah.
And as well as our code does not recognize on-street parking. So if you go back to here, there's 9, there will be 9 striped parking stalls along their frontage on Oak, and there are existing 7 on-street parking stalls on the west side of the street.
Okay.
So when we looked at it, we applied, staff applied the other parking requirements that would result in the fewer parking spaces, just to make sure we had a basis for supporting a parking variance. So based on the number of seats, they would still not totally comply, but it would be much closer. When the patio is operating, they would have a variance of 9 spaces.
Okay.
And when the patio is closed, they would only need a variance for 3.
Okay.
When you factor in the on-street parking, that would satisfy those, but
So they would be
technically under.
satisfied for both.
Technically, under our code, that is not
Right.
permitted. But in order for staff to feel comfortable that the parking would be satisfactory, that the ordinance granting the variances would limit the number of seats so that the parking would be adequate.
Okay. So they wouldn't be able to maximize the seating inside? in order
Correct.
to-
It's based, it
Okay.
would be based on
Okay.
85 seats, which includes 6 video gaming terminals.
Okay. All right, anything else you want to talk about with that?
No.
All right, if the owner, if you'd like to come up and just state your name for the record,
Good evening, my name is Phil Wiechek. I'm the owner.
and sir.
Steve Francis with Linden Group Architects, representing Phil and Ethan Weechek.
All right, very good. Phil, I'm going to have you answer some of those questions. I mean, the first one right off the bat is, you say you'd limit service out there on the patio, but I understand the smoking thing. I mean, we really don't want people in a parking lot or out on Route 30 smoking, so I understand that. But if the idea is for them, because there's no smoking allowed in the establishment by Illinois law, if the idea is for someone to be able to go out, have a smoke, and come back in, that's one thing. But if they're bringing their drinks out there, now that gives them a reason to congregate
Correct.
out on the patio, which I think causes concern and consternation for some of the neighbors. So is it your intention just to eliminate service or to prohibit food and alcohol from being on the patio after the 9 and 10 p.m. hours?
Correct. Yeah, we would prohibit that. And as I stressed in the last meeting, the patio being only 12-foot wide, it's minimal. And one of our main concerns was with that 15-foot law from the outdoor patios, people trying to go out, obviously, to the north with Route 30, to the west there, it would be people congregating in the parking lot. So that's something that we really 100% wanted to avoid. And I feel like a huge part of the patio, whether we're talking Tuesday afternoon at 1 o'clock or Friday at midnight, I think a big responsibility is going to be in our hands to enforce the conduct out there of people, whether we have the alcohol out there or not. But we would strictly prohibit that alcohol out there with regards to those hours and use it just for smoking. The reason why we're proposing the longer hours from the start is that obviously we would have to enforce the noise out there and make sure that we're attending to the people out there. But I believe that if we close those hours at the 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock respectively, people that would congregate out in the parking lot 15 feet away from the door, it would be much louder and much more annoying. The other thing too is that with people going in and out, especially on the weekends, if we get to a point to where we have to card or our ID, it puts a lot of stress on people going in and out. The other thing we worry about is, in some cases, if people go out to a car, to drink out in a car, then come back in an establishment, it's hard for us to identify how much they've been served. So I think it's going to be a safer, quieter environment, but ultimately it's going to be up to us to enforce how loud it is out there, how many people out there, and what's going on, whether it's, like I said, a Tuesday or Wednesday or Friday evening. And again, the hours are subject to change if the conduct's not something that's in line with the village or it causes a problem with the neighbors.
Okay, well, I appreciate that. So here's what I would say. I'm going to allow you to address anything else that Robin had talked about or anything else that you'd like to say at this time.
Sure.
If not, Board, I'd like to give anyone from the community that's here an opportunity to come up and speak. I know they had an opportunity at the Plan Commission, but you need to know the way that we operate here. As the mayor, I make sure that people always have as many opportunities as possible to speak. So they had an opportunity at the Plan Commission, they would have tonight, they would even have before the second read a vote, just so everybody is
Absolutely.
heard.
Absolutely.
Okay? Now, I will tell you, before we get into that, and before the board makes their comments, I would just say, as the liquor commissioner, if in fact it's, and I can only speak for myself, I would not be supportive of any alcohol out on the patio if the board is so inclined to grant the special use. I would not be inclined to allow any alcohol out on the patio after hours, because then people will just stand out there and talk, and it will be loud.
I
and
agree.
Cause an issue. So they want to go out and have a smoke. It is better than being in the parking lot. Your points are very valid. But what I would tell you as the liquor commissioner is you are responsible. And if there are violations where people are out there drinking after the fact, you jeopardize your liquor license.
Absolutely.
So I just, we're excited that someone's interested in getting rid of this eyesore and doing something. The communities, most of the community's excited about this project, and we always want to be supportive, but we have to be supportive of our residents as well. So it wouldn't just be something as simple, I want to be upfront with you, it wouldn't be something as simple as you need to take some corrective action. I wouldn't want to find you before me as the liquor commissioner, because that's not what we want to do. I know you want to be a good neighbor, we appreciate your comments, but you'd have to be very, very strict on that enforcement.
Correct.
So we don't do anything else, okay?
Correct. Yeah, we're familiar with that.
Sure.
That's how one of our other patios are in Joliet. That patio's never been disciplined.
Sure.
But that goes along with people leaving with alcohol too.
Sure.
So it's very important that we watch anybody that tries to go out the door with it.
100%.
So I'm confident that we could enforce those procedures there.
Yeah,
as
and
well.
it's not that I'm not, but I always want to be upfront with people.
Yeah.
So they know on the record what the story is.
I want to make one more
Sure,
quick point.
please, go ahead.
We did during the design process push that patio as far north as we could and then allow a 15-foot setback from that door for smoking area out
Sure.
there. That fence is rather tall, so the bottom half is brick and then the top of that fence is going to be 7 feet. So I believe that's definitely going to offer some noise deflection from normal conversations in there to the neighbors.
We appreciate that. If you wouldn't mind having a seat?
And just to also.
Go ahead.
Along those lines, staff was recommending that they plant some taller evergreen trees in that grass area to the south of the patio as well to help buffer the noise.
Very good, thank you. Is there anyone here from the community that wants to speak on this tonight? No, I know we had some people at Plant Commission. All right, but, you know, again, we always give that opportunity, and if they show up at the next meeting, we would give them that again. All right, board questions or comments? Anyone want to start?
I was going to say, I was
Sir,
a
if you
little,
want. Step back up, go ahead.
I kind of agree with the mayor, not kind of agree with the mayor. I was a little worried about the noise. It seemed like the complaints were twofold from the neighbors around the area. If they withhold the drinks inside the building and it's used for just a smoking area, I think that would resolve a lot of the issues with the noise. The other one I know a lot of people had was with the parking, specifically in the neighborhood streets. I read that you were talking to some of the neighboring businesses about potentially using their parking lot outside their service hours. Have you made any further progress there?
Yeah, so I was contacted by Matt with the insurance agency just
Yeah.
to the east of us. He offered us 9 spots for employee parking. So we're gonna make that happen. We just have to work out the details of that. But yeah, we're gonna get 9 spots in there. Locally or to our ability or what we're allowed to, we're gonna provide signage for any of the neighboring businesses. We did propose some different signage for the outs, and they designed the curbs in such a way to direct traffic one way. There is another issue that we want to bring up about the alley later on and the continuance of the alley easement going to the east there. But yeah, we're going to provide signage for the no parking, and obviously we can only enforce what's on our lot there. Again, it's hard to compare this to our other locations. Our other locations have similar parking like this, and it hasn't been an issue on the streets. But again, the signage hopefully would help.
And other businesses have the right to hire a relocator service if they choose to, and say parking for only this business. I mean, that's certainly within their right to do that as well, so.
Correct.
Yeah.
We actually approached some of the neighbors about purchasing some of the buildings next to us and around us. One thing is we're from New Lenox. This is an important project to us here, being in the hometown. So this is a project that we feel is gonna be like a lifelong ownership for us. So we're gonna continue to approach neighbors and do what we can to try to acquire any of the neighboring properties to help facilitate any parking here or, you know, improve any of the neighboring properties as well. So that's something that we're going to continue to work on as well.
Very good, thank you, good questions. Go
And
ahead.
Robin, that 35, the 28, but the 35 parking spots, that was also taking into account employees. So if his employees were parking off-site,
Correct.
they
That
would
would
bring
be
them
a-
closer to the required amount? Okay.
Yep.
All right, very
The other
good.
thing, real quick, is on the other side of Oak Drive too, those businesses over there, standardly, and since we've owned this property and since we can see the busy hours that should be at the bar restaurant are completely opposite hours of across the street. So the mother spots on Oak, every time after around 5 o'clock, those are completely empty over there as well. So hopefully that off-street parking over there would help relieve some of the busy nights as well.
Oh,
Okay,
sounds good.
good. Any other questions?
And I do think too, you know, your Friday and Saturday evenings, when you're probably going to be the busiest, there's going to be a lot of Ubering, you know, a lot of people Ubering, I would hope.
Yeah, right.
So I think, you know, from a parking perspective, you know, it's going to be completely different on a Wednesday evening than it would be on a Friday or a Saturday evening. So hopefully that will work out to your advantage. My other question though is, in terms of monitoring the alcohol on the patio after hours, what is your plan
So-
to do that?
We have in the other businesses that we have, and what we're gonna set up here is, we have a camera system too, as well. So we're gonna have, besides people who monitor the floor regularly, whether that be on a busy night where it's security that's implemented, or whether it be a server or a bartender that's an outside, like waitress that's serving the outside tables. When I say outside, I mean outside of the immediate bar area. So they'll be checking on that, but also the bartenders have a screen behind the bar with the cameras that are out there as well. So if somebody does put one in their jacket and go out there, that's something that hopefully we'll be able to see. But knowing that that is something that's going to be strictly enforced, we're going to make sure to extra stay on top of that.
So maybe like Friday, Saturday evening type of bouncer at that back door?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And the other reason why it's important, and I agree with some of the alcohol coming off of there, is that during those busy times, although that fence is 7 foot tall, we really strive on keeping outside alcohol out of the bar whatsoever. So if we don't have any alcohol out there, whatever, it greatly reduces the chances of somebody handing alcohol over the fence one way or another. So if there's not supposed to be any alcohol out there, we know that nobody should be consuming alcohol out there.
Great,
Very good.
thanks.
Good, very good.
I just want to say, thanks for your attention to detail. I think the plans look beautiful, and you can tell you've really thought it through and worked with our staff, and I think it's going
Thanks.
to be a great outcome, and, you know, I share the same concerns, but it sounds like you've already been thinking about that and working with us. Thank you.
Absolutely. It's a huge investment for me and my family, and it's something that we don't want to jeopardize. We want something that's going to last a long time, so we don't want a chance at a risk of any chance of the business or any of the licenses being disciplined.
Very good. Any other comments or questions?
Yeah, I was just going to say it's great to see an old building being repurposed. And I know from my background that that's not an easy thing to do, and you guys have done a great job trying to update a site that was last used, 20 years ago, and making it work. And that's not an easy thing to do. My biggest concern coming into this meeting was making sure that the alcohol was cut off on the patio. It seems like we've come to an agreement on that, and we know what's at stake if it doesn't, so that's great. And my other question was the parking ratios with the employees as well, and it seems as though that's only going to get better if you can make some agreements with some neighboring businesses, so.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's good
Absolutely.
stuff, thank you.
Anything else?
Perfect.
All right, well, let me tell you, certainly we are very grateful, especially when local people are investing in our community or reinvesting in our community. We have seen there's been a tremendous amount of support for this project. It's unique to our town, so it will be nice to see. We know you've got a lot of experience, which is great, so you know the pitfalls and everything. And I will say, for the people who had concerns that live in the neighborhood there, I don't blame them. I mean, I absolutely don't blame them. They're not bad people. They're not anti-business. They're not anti-this business. They just have normal concerns that anyone that lives in that residential area would have. And I really do think you've done a great job of trying to get out in front of it and be a good neighbor. And I'm really confident that this will be successul and a nice addition to our town. So thank you for all of your work.
Thank you.
All right, very good. Staff will be in touch. You guys will touch on whatever else you need to, so. All right, very good. Next, we have consideration of an ordinance granting special use for final P.U.D. Plat, Lakes Park Unit 1. First read, Robin?
Yes, so Lakes Park is as far east as the village will eventually go on the north side of Laraway Road. It is adjacent to an existing subdivision in the village of Frankfurt. The overall plan was approved last year. Phase 1 includes 46 lots for single-family homes, 30 duplexes, and 60 townhomes, all in 6-unit buildings. Some of the details, staff is recommending that the portion of Mattoon Drive adjacent to Lot 77, which will be platted with this phase, that right-of-way be dedicated also. And then the lots that are shown in green, because they do have frontage on Lakes Park Drive, which is the main main entrance into the subdivision from Laraway Road, we're recommending that driveway access be from the east-west street. There's also the yellow areas is where there will be on-street parking within the parkway. It's just off-site of the townhome section that will be platted with Phase 1, but they are proposing to install those parking spaces with the street, so easements may be necessary or will be necessary. There's 4 other lots that would have access off of the east-west street and not the longer or busier main roads. And then the stormwater detention outlet, which would be constructed, would not have any access because Knightsbridge will not be platted until the next phase. So Public Works is requesting that they at least extend it a little bit into this subdivision from Lee Creek South in order to provide them access in case we have to get in there to do any maintenance. Overall landscape plan, there is all the required landscaping along Lairway Road and around the detention ponds. All 3 detention ponds, or 4 detention ponds will be built within this phase. The Park District did not request a land donation, so in order to provide some on-site recreational opportunities, this larger pond, which also would serve as a buffer from the Canadian National Railroad, would have a trail around it, as well as a gazebo and things like that. There are a couple of different builders, so Catchy Builders is going to be doing the duplexes. They will have 2 different color schemes that you see here, and then they did provide a plan for which color schemes would be on which lots, just to ensure that there is diversity and not a monotonous streetscape. And similarly, Lennar is going to be building the townhomes, and because they are all 6 units, with the exception of 1 4-unit building that would be in the next phase, they will have 3 different color schemes that you see here, and then there would be a plan attached to the ordinance approving the PUD that would designate these. So with that, I know there's representatives here from Catchy and Lennar. If the board has any questions, we're still working through some engineering and landscaping comments, and once those are resolved, we would bring the ordinance back for second read.
Very good. Does the petitioner wish to add anything at this time? No? Oh, all right. It's good to see some of this diverse housing stock coming out, especially in the southeast part of town. Questions or comments from the board for Robin or for the petitioners? No? All right, that's great. We're excited about it. Look forward to having you continue to work with staff and so we can get the project rolling. That's great. Thank you very much for being here. Okay, next up is consideration for approval of proposal, STP number 3 pump station for Strand and Associates, not to exceed $60,000 depending on the routing of the plan. This is for a wastewater treatment plant 3. As you know, we've already got 2 and 1 that we're looking to turn into pump stations. This is a plan for 3, which is up north on the north side of town. This would not be in our budget till 25-26, correct, Kurt?
Correct.
Okay, so this is with Strand and Associates to kind of figure out how we're going to move that from wastewater treatment plant 3, turn that into a pump station. Anything else to add, Kurt?
And just the routing to the rest of the system.
Right, very good. Any questions from the board? No? Okay. Is there a motion to approve the proposal?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by trustee Scalise, second by trustee Wilson. Questions or comments? All right, roll call vote, please.
Trustee Riser?
Aye.
Trustee Mattson?
Aye.
Trustee Galuza?
Aye.
Trustee Scalise?
Aye.
Trustee Wilson?
Aye.
Trustee Christopherson?
Aye.
Mayor Baldwin?
Aye, motion carries. Next up, we have consideration for approval of a contract, Cleargov Digital Budget Book. Kim?
Sure. Yes, Cleargov, we use Cleargov to complete our digital budget. Instead of doing a hard copy anymore, we do the budget digitally, and this will be the 5th year. We did have a 4-year contract with them. The subscription price is $8,600 a year, and it goes up 3% thereafter. It works well with our BSNA software. We just they work hand in hand together, and it produces the budget to be part of the GFOA budget program. So.
Very good. Any questions for Kim? All right, is there a motion to approve the contract with Cleargov Digital Budget?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by trustee Riser, second by trustee Scalise. Anything further? Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Mattson?
Aye.
Trustee Riser?
Aye.
Trustee Galuza?
Aye.
Trustee Wilson?
Aye.
Trustee Scalise?
Aye.
Trustee Christopherson?
Aye.
Mayor Baldwin?
Aye, motion carries. Okay, next up is consideration for approval of a contract with Emmerich Facility Services. This is on a temporary basis while we're short an employee to clean the Public Works facility twice a week for $800 per month. They currently do the Hall and Children's Museum. Kurt, you're happy with what they do?
Yes, they do an excellent job.
All right, very good. So this is on a temporary basis. Any questions on that? Okay, is there a motion to approve the contract?
So moved.
Second.
I'm sorry, motion was by trustee Scalise, second by trustee Galuza. All right, thank you. There's nothing further. A roll call vote, please.
Trustee Christofferson.
Aye.
Trustee Galuza.
Aye.
Trustee Scalise.
Aye.
Trustee Wilson.
Aye.
Trustee Riser.
Aye.
Trustee Mattson.
Aye.
Mayor Balderman.
Aye, motion carries. All right, next up, we have approval of proposal engineering services for the Southwest Service Quiet Zone Reaffirmation from Christopher Burke Engineering. Has to be done every 5 years. The proposal is not to exceed $29,700. They are not budgeted item for 2024-25, but it does need to be completed in order to keep our quiet zone status to work through the FRA. Kurt, anything to add on that for this one? I know
No,
we're
we don't
still trying to get the
anticipate,
other one.
we don't anticipate any problems, but we do have to make sure that we're keeping up with the standards to keep
Can't
that
fall behind,
quiet
you
zone.
gotta start all over again.
Correct.
Right, okay. Any questions on that? No? Okay. If there is nothing further, is there a motion to approve the engineering services?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by trustee Scalise, second by trustee Wilson. Comments or questions? Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Wilson.
Aye.
Trustee Christofferson.
Aye.
Trustee Mattson.
Aye.
Trustee Galuza.
Aye.
Trustee Scalise.
Aye.
Trustee Riser.
Aye.
Mayor Balderman.
Aye, motion carries. Kevin? Don't be mad at me. I put at the top of my packet to call you up first, and then I didn't look at it again. So, or else I would have got you out of here a lot sooner. So, under my reports, we have 2 vacancies now on the Plan Commission. Both hit kind of suddenly. Kevin Wheeler is a resident who stays very informed on his own to see what's going on. As a matter of fact, I don't mind telling any trade secrets, but Kevin is a regular on social media and is informing the public on a regular basis, quite factually, of what is happening in town, to the extent where Robin thought it was a fake profile of mine that I was. So I don't know if you should be flattered or disgusted by that, Kevin, but I think you're a pretty smart guy, so I'm kind of flattered that they thought it was me. But we appreciate you being willing to serve. I had Kevin come in, as I always do, when I'm looking to appoint somebody to a commission to meet with the staff member that kind of oversees that. And Robin had an opportunity to speak to Kevin and told me she was very impressed and thought he'd be a great addition to our Plan Commission. So is my request tonight that you approve my appointment of Kevin Wheeler to the Plan Commission. Anyone want to make that motion?
I'll make that motion.
I will
Second.
second that.
All right, motion by trustee Riser, second by trustee Mattson. Any comments or questions? Okay, roll call vote, please.
Trustee Mattson.
Aye.
Trustee Riser.
Aye.
Trustee Galuza.
Aye.
Trustee Wilson.
Aye.
Trustee Scalise.
Aye.
Trustee Christofferson.
Aye.
Mayor Balderman.
Aye, motion carries. Kevin, you want to step up? Come on up. I have to tell you, and as Brian knows, as Jim knows, I often have people that tell me that they're interested in serving our community on different commissions or whatnot. And quite frequently, I don't know who these people are. They're not social buddies of mine. I'm not interested in just appointing friends to boards and commissions. I'm interested in appointing people who care about the community. As both of you know from serving on those spots, and Keith, many years ago, you served on that spot. Kevin's another one of those people that just always seemed engaged and was interested in making a difference in his town. And so thank you very much for that. Go ahead and feel free to say a few things if you'd like.
Just thank you for your consideration. I had a great conversation with Chief Allison Dreamy. I think that initially that's where I was going to go.
He was going to go to the police commission where I had an opening. Chief was excited. He said, "Oh, he'll be great." And then I got a plan commission open. I said, "No, this guy belongs." And actually, I had told him that I wanted to appoint him to the plan commission, but I didn't have an opening. And before he could get on this agenda as police commission, the plan commission opened. So it worked out really well.
I'll serve wherever I'm needed, so I'm more than happy to.
Well, you screwed up. You would have had a get out of jail free card, but now you just have to work on, now you have to hear people complain about development, so.
That's
You've got
okay.
your family with you tonight?
I do. I have my wife Julie and my 2 kids, Cassidy and Josh, with us.
All right. Well, it's great to see you all here, and thank you for sharing your husband and father with the town. It's an important commitment. We have a lot of development happening in town. As you know, you've always been on top of it, and we're just very, very grateful for good residents that are willing to volunteer and give their time.
I'm excited.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Very good. And thank you, board, for approving that appointment. Only other thing I have to add is tickets are on sale now for residents for 5 shows, and come Wednesday, a 6th show, a country show, Chris Young. We just announced that today. I will tell you that the special events department was giving me grief because there's a lot of country fans out there. I am not one of them. And they kept saying, you gotta have a country show, gotta have a country show. And I said, all right, we'll get a country show. And we were fortunate to get a big name like Chris Young. And of course, then people take to social media and say, oh, thanks, Mayor. And I had nothing to do with it other than do what they told me to do by going to get a country show. So to our special events department, thank you for your input and for prodding me to get a country show. And I think it's going to be really successful. Ticket sales are going very, very well for the other shows as well. Get the Let Out, Killer Queen, Andy Grammer, Revivalist, Rick Springfield, and the 80s show. So, and they will open to the public very shortly. So I would recommend that our residents grab them now while we have the residents only code available. If you don't know that code, even though it was sent to everyone, call the Village Hall. But once they go public, anyone, anywhere can buy them, and we've already had a lot of interest from people. So I'm excited about that. They told me if I booked one more concert, they were going to run me out of town because they're busy. I would encourage everybody to look at our website for the special events that we have going on in this town. And like everything else we do at Big, there is something happening all summer long. And of course, we know about what happens in the fall and winter around here as well. But play days for kids and Fridays after 5 and ticketed concerts and you name it. And now we've got the farmers market starting. So this community offers so much for our people. And the truth is, we have a really, really small special events department that spearheads all that. But it's only possible because everybody from the village pitches in and works these events and does all of this to make it possible for our community. So again, for all of our staff here at the police department, our friends at the fire department to come out, our CERT volunteers, our ESDA, everyone is a part of it. We've got a really exciting summer planned and really appreciate that. I would also say voter turnout has been low for this early voting, which goes through the rest of this week through Friday, Laura?
Correct, yes.
What are the hours again?
9 to 4.
9 to 4. I would encourage everyone to come out and take advantage of it. And although they haven't been busy there, we are a village, whether it's a monster turnout or a light turnout, that always provides these voting opportunities for people. And most places do not. Most places do not, certainly not at the level that we do. So Laura, I know it's not a huge taxing event this time around, but you and all the staff that pitch in do a great job. So it's always seamless and goes very well. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Okay, that's all I have tonight. If there is nothing for me, a village attorney? Thank you, village administrator.
I was going to have our clerk who's celebrating her birthday today talk about early voting, but you covered it.
Oh, the birthday. Happy birthday, Laura. I don't know how I missed that.
Thank you.
Probably wanted us to miss it.
Did.
Well, I would have sped this along a little bit if I know you had big birthday plans tonight.
I have no plans.
All right, happy birthday.
She's
to you.
celebrating with us.
There, yeah, that's a heck of a celebration.
Yes, I will be.
Well, thank you. Happy birthday, Laura. That's wonderful. All right, payroll and disbursements. Trustee Mattson.
Make the motion to approve our 5 monthly disbursements in the amount of $4,735,186.78. In addition to these disbursements, approval is needed for payroll in the amount of $492,611.50 paid on March 21st, 2025, and that is in the form of a motion.
And I will second that.
All right, motion's been properly moved and seconded. Any comments or questions? Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Christopherson?
Aye.
Trustee Galuza?
Aye.
Trustee Scalise?
Aye.
Trustee Wilson?
Aye.
Trustee Riser?
Aye.
Trustee Mattson?
Aye.
Mayor Balderman?
Aye, motion carries. Anything else, Keith?
No, sir.
All right, very good, thank you. Questions or comments from the floor? Anyone? For you scouts that hung in there, congratulations. There should be a little something extra in it for you, another badge or something. Good job. All right, and thank your parents and leaders for sticking it out with you this long. All right, if there's nothing from the floor, trustee comments, trustee Riser.
Laura, I usually try to get through my birthday without anybody knowing too. Happy birthday. And just to second what Mayor said, to the community, come out and visit Laura and early vote. It's great to have that opportunity.
Absolutely, very good, thank you. Trustee Mattson?
Happy birthday, Laura.
Very good.
Oh, I am.
Trustee Christopherson?
You know we're all going to say it. Happy birthday, Laura. And that's all I have.
All right, very good. Trustee Galuza?
Happy birthday, Laura. And my kids this morning, my older children, were thrilled about the concert
Good.
announcement, so.
And before you stop talking about your kids, you've got an announcement with one of your children, huh? Big honor.
She did, yes.
Go ahead, talk about it.
All-American for Lewis University women's basketball.
Yeah, congratulations. That's tremendous achievement.
it's great.
A lot of hard work over the years put in by your whole family, but
Yep.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Very good, thank you. Trustee Wilson?
You know, my wife and I always talk about how one genre is typically excluded from some of our concerts here, so we're very excited that we took them into consideration, and we're excited to go see them as well. And happy birthday, Laura.
Very good. Trustee Scalise?
I'm the last one to say it. Happy birthday.
All right, very good. Well, we have no need for executive session tonight, so if there's nothing further, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by trustee Scalise, second by trustee Christopherson. All those in favor signify by voice vote of aye.
Aye.
Opposed, meeting adjourned.